Yep. Hold on. I'm making sure I get the right one. That's all right. The music doesn't stop. There we go. All right. God bless you all. Hope everything's going okay. This is Pine Grove News Live from the East Coast, and it is 6 o'clock on the dot here. And that's right, man. That's right. Hope is never lost. It's never lost. You just may need to find it again, but it's never lost. We're all going to be okay. And I know a lot of Christians, you're all stronger than you know. Believe me. I used to think myself pretty weak many times. We're all stronger than we know. And with the Lord leading the way, man, who else? Like he says, who can be against us? No one. So, again, it's Friday. Thank God, man. The week, of course, went by quick. Today was kind of a, you know, going to like pulling teeth, maybe. It was just agonizing. It started out very early in the morning. From the very first things that I did in the morning, everything and anything that I did, there was a hiccup to it. And I've had days like this before. And this is how I knew that, that there was divine intervention going on. Yeah, I've had days like that. Not many, but I've had days where everything I've done the whole day was just interrupted or by something. And I just knew then it had to be divine intervention. So normally I just turn and smile. Yeah, it is funny. Even talking to World Watchman before the show here. I mean, he tried to call me a couple times. It went right to voicemail to some woman that I don't have on there because I have my own recording on there. So, anyways, a lot of weird stuff going on with that and the net too. I mean, my history from YouTube is spotty. Some things that I watched days ago are up on the top of the list. I've watched at least 5 to 10 videos today, and maybe two or three of them are listed in my history. And normally, it's pretty good with the history. Just things like that all day long. And then, what was even weirder, 5:30. Okay, right before I start setting up. Will Watchman knows not to call me at that time, but I get a phone call from him. Like he's been calling me for a while anyway, and having that problem. But he called me. I answered it. No answer. Nobody, no voice on the other line. And I called him like 5 minutes later and asked him why he called me. He says, "I didn't call you. You called me." So freaky thing is that we were both called. Our phones were calling each other at the same time. Now, that's pretty freaky. I don't know if the, abyss was open today. I don't know if some deep, dark tunnel somewhere was opened and demonic beings just are jumping around all over the place. They're not allowed to come over here. They're not allowed to interact with me. No, I don't allow that, and I've prayed on it. They don't bother me. But I think, somewhere along the line that there were, I don't know, some kind of intertwining or something going on. So I don't know what else is going on with everybody else, but we are in, just diverse. We're in times that would, are like no other time. And that brings me to a question too, but that's just the stuff that I've been going through my head and praying on. things like that. Nothing new under the sun. Everyone keeps saying like nothing new under the sun, right? But why did he also say, in the New Testament that there will be times, and signs and everything else, uh, and our time will be like no other time, nor any other time to come. So if there's nothing new under the sun, it just to me it just confirms that we are in the last times, the last time. Let's not add the times to it because this is the last age. Anyway, so I know you all been saturated with the Dorian situation. We'll give you an update, but I'm going to go through a few other things first. A couple weird things going on with that too, as far as but it's computer, so there's no ghost in the machine, but some things may be going on. We may be, being attacked by because we've been at some kind of cyber war for a while now, and with this thing going on, supposedly us hacking Iran past day or two, and I'm sure the Chinese are always doing it. They're always, stealing our intellectual property and so on, and that's a big talk that was going on today with between Trump and reporters actually. So what else we got here? Yeah, stay tuned. Picked up this video. It's pretty funny. I don't normally put these funny things in there, but I know a sister of mine, a sister in Christ, actually once in a while gives me some funny videos to look at. Whether it's an animal video or little kitty video. I don't know if she gave me the one with the two kids who painted themselves, but maybe I gave that one to her. But anyway, gonna have something like that. And what I don't have in here tonight is that we're going to be going to the moon in 2 years. Yeah. Through what I've been listening to the past few days, apparently that's what they want to do. That they've got this thing called Star Hopper, Elon Musk and some other different company. It was fascinating to see this Star Hopper. I've seen it before, but they apparently had some upgrades and some delays from the FAA, and they finally did a test the other day, and pretty fascinating. Even though we've seen all this stuff in sci-fi, these rockets landing on on surfaces on planets and being able to go down from a big starship with a space shuttle and just land. I mean, we could do that with the Harrier, right? Our government has this plane called the Harrier, and I think the F-35s do it now too. They just land. What do you call it? Is it horizontally? They just come down like helicopters. Just turn the direction of the jets and just float down. But it was cool seeing this Star Hopper. That's what they're calling it, Star Hopper. Have it take off and watch those things. Uh, the big SpaceX one that what do they call it? Space Heavy or something like that. It had this one main rocket in the middle and the two boosters on the side. And to see them take off and go up through space and separate and then come down in almost the exact same time, they had these two booster rockets that are just, rockets with fuel in them, just land in like, it was like a symphony, just come down and very smoothly, just with their flame on the bottom and the dust rising up because it was in the desert, and they just landed together in perfect harmony. I just love stuff like that. Yeah. So I'll get to the news because we have a lot of news, but I've always been a tech nut, from the very beginning, from the very first time that they came out with entertainment system like Ping or Pong and Space Invaders and when they first came out with the Atari and the Commodore 64, and then they went to the 128. That's why I went to school to fix the computer because they kept breaking. They were pieces of junk, but they were personal computers. They were actually the first PCs. Very interesting history. Even went to the museum in Boston where apparently their idea of a computer was a whole building that was filled with these machines and it used to be on, if you remember, these IBM cards, and they had reel to reels, and yeah, that's how it used to be. Imagine the amount of technology and advancement that we've been through in the past 60 years. Um, to be a part of that, it's just amazing to see from the very beginning until now. And the stuff that we don't know about that they're not telling us about. I don't know why, but they're not. Some things that we could do. I guess we'll have to learn through some of the propaganda and some of the news that they put out there. So we're not going to talk about Adrian or Dorian right now. But needless to say, that thing is they it's just doing weird things. Very weird things. Now there's another, trajectory for it, and we'll get to that. But this I forgot to put out 2 days ago. It's good to know. This is from Strange Sounds. Anomalous sudden stratospheric warming is forming over the Antarctic. So, and Australia, New Zealand, they should prepare for a replay of the 2018's Beast from the East. Now, I don't know what that means. I should have looked it up, but I had so much to do today. I could only look up so many things. Guess I'm going to need some help someday to look up those things. Just to do a little vetting. Beast from the East. I should remember that because I followed a lot of the weather from Australia past years. But this big warming thing is up there in what they call it, southern hemisphere. It's a stratosphere. It's up there 15,000 feet to how much was it? Well, let's just read this for a second. No, it's 30,000 feet, not 15. I got 150,000 at 15 in my head. You know how that works sometimes. So anyway, this sudden stratospheric warming is when the temperature between 30,000 feet, which is airline level. That's usually where they fly, anywhere between 20 and 35 feet, 1,000 feet, I mean. So between 30,000 feet and 150,000 feet is the stratosphere that's undergoing a rapid warming in the vicinity of at least 15 degrees Celsius in a space of just a few days. So, somebody trying to prove that the global warming is really happening? Well, it may seem like it's happened. Let me just give me a second, checking this live feed. Okay, good at YouTube. So, Noodle Ham operator. Is that the name you're going to use, Laura? Noodle Ham? I haven't figured out what mine is. I'm thinking about just saying 12 Pine, but as my handle. But and I don't know why I'm just delaying. I tell you, I can't finish anything. Big problem with me. Anyway, so yeah, this warming, okay, is occurring. What I was going to add is that the north, and I didn't grab that either. Up in the north, the UK and further north, it's getting colder. It's getting colder. So I don't know if the thing is balancing itself out, whether there's any credence to this pole flip and all this other, solar minimum we know about. I mean, just a lot of different things happening. It's just a heck of a time to be alive. Watch all these things going on and not be afraid about them. So that's what the sudden stratospheric warming is. It's just a warming that occurs so high up in the atmosphere they were completely oblivious to its surface. But how can it warm so quickly? So every year, strong westerly winds will circulate around the Antarctic or the Arctic. These winds form what we know as the stratospheric polar vortex. You should know about that. It was invented last year, wasn't it? Some weather woman. Anyway, which occurs high above the poles and produces excessive amounts of cold air. In some instances, though, these winds will weaken for a period of time, more commonly between the changing of seasons, the winter and out of winter, when the atmosphere itself is changing. So, anyways, and I don't know if you guys have, you know, hopped over to these jet stream sites. You could probably go, I don't know exactly where, I haven't been in a while. People just normally show it to you. You know, that our jet streams obviously are out of whack. I don't know if it's because of the geoengineering, the weather modification. I'm sure it might have something to do with it. But to think that man, this puny men on this planet, could actually, adjust the living organism known as Earth. I don't know. I know I'll probably get some big debate on it. I mean, especially with all this plastic that they keep showing out there in the media. Yeah, there's plastic over here too in the Philippines. Yeah, we got plastic up here in Norway. Yeah, really? You think that mankind can make that much plastic and put it in our oceans, which are what, 2/3? Is it 2/3 of our whole entire planet? Yes, birds. Some may actually, try and eat that thinking it's food. Yeah, I mean, we have cameras everywhere. We should know what's going on everywhere. Anyway, I gotta get off that little rant. I don't think that we could try. I mean, we could try. And I know that they are trying to ruin the earth. I mean, I thought at one time that the Bible may have even said that the Lord will punish those who are ruining the earth. Of course, I thought, the oceans will boil was in the Bible as well. And I tried looking for that a few days ago extensively, and I could not find it. So maybe something else I learned somewhere else while I was learning the Bible or the Word and got them put together somehow. We do that, so we just got to correct ourselves. The Bible does say that there will be no oceans in Revelation, but I thought it had said that they would boil away. When I was trying to, um, reference Fukushima and their coastlines boiling because of the radiation they've been dumping in there. How, anyways, how we think that Fukushima could infect, and they still are calling it an extinction level event. How long is that going to take? I mean, anyways, I don't know. I don't want to get into some kind of debate and debating myself because nobody else is talking. Anyways, yeah, it's there is radiation everywhere. I mean, they're putting it in the waters over there off the coast of Italy, and the UK's been putting it in there since World War II, at least that I know of. They actually have ducts, the pipes, 8-inch or bigger pipes that they just dump the radiation in there. The what do you call it? Anyway, let's move on. Activist posts. That's what this is called, or who it's from. RCR Wireless reports about where there is increasing U.S. opposition to this 5G. So, a lot of people, excuse me, many more people are speaking out about it. They should. I mean, and then they got a tracking map. So well, let's just go right to the tracking map. Yeah, if it was on this headline. Hold on, we'll get to that. Tracking map. Where is it? Oh well. In the meantime, this article is about 5G. Register now. Today is actually, or tomorrow is the last day. They had this thing going on, this awareness and accountability summit. Register now for the 5G crisis. That's the first I've ever heard of it. Of course, I'm not usually over there activist post, but it's online and free from August 26th to September 1st, 2019. Um, World Health Organization and many other experts insist that exposure to this radio frequency radiation, RF frequency, is at least possibly cancer causing in humans, if not more so. The American Academy of Pediatrics and other excuse me, health experts have warned that children are more vulnerable to illness and injury from exposure. And it's not just about cancer. Of course, exposure isn't just about cancer for adults or animals either. 5G is already operating in some communities, and adults, kids, and pets have been reported as becoming sick from it. And they say go see 1, 2, and 3. So there's a bunch of links right here in this article. Okay, you really should inform yourself about this 5G, where they plan on implementing it, which is just about everywhere. I mean, I think Verizon and who was the other one? Sprint, maybe, that are actually saying that they have this 5G. And I've talked to the technicians who actually are is my provider, Cox Communication here in southern New England, and I'm talking about 5G, and he says it's 5G is not what you think it is. Yeah, 5G is he just said it's just not what you think it is. I said, well, what do you think it is? What do you think that I think it is? He says it's protected with it's just fiber optics, more protected, insulated, whatever. I mean, he's trying to obviously you know uh, make it look good, but we really don't need it. I mean, the only reason why we're implementing it everywhere and calling it a betterment for us is because the military needs these towers and these other extra antennas, many extra antennas. It's just for the military. They're the ones that are going to be using it. And we're going to go and pay for it, but not really get it because this 4G, I mean, they offer speeds up to what? I mean, my provider right now can offer up to a gigabyte. Okay, gigabyte per second. They call it a gigablast here. And they can do that at the 4G. So I don't understand exactly how that works, but 4G is 4 gigabytes, right? They can offer you a gigabyte per second. Now I get actually what I'm paying for right now is 100 megabytes per second. That's a lot. And I've checked it and did a speed test, and about 70% of the time I get 100 or maybe more. The rest of it's down around 50, but all I need is like 40 to download pages quickly. It's a little slower uploading. We don't need anything else. We do not need it unless they're coming out with some technology that they want to have the airways already for it. But it's detrimental to humankind. Okay, which obviously they don't care. And then we can go into all the things that we talk about, why they want to get rid of us. I mean, any case, I don't want to get into that right now. But I'll leave this link for you. It's what's it called? RCR Wireless Reports. They have all kinds of other links to it. 5G crisis, 5G exposed, 5G information. I mean, Debbie Treveris puts out a lot of information. She's done it for a while. She has that information for the 5G. There are other people who do 5G stuff. I've done a couple videos on it. Basically just borrowing it from whoever done it first. And there's quite a few people that do it now. And I haven't looked at this information, but I'm definitely going to. And there was two links, I believe, 2 days ago, Wednesday, when I did a report. So there's plenty of information for you to be informed about this. Do not let it go up in your neighborhood, next to schools, or in your mini malls. Remember, we've already told you stories about the firemen at the fire department where they had a pole, at the school where they had these at least 4 kids get cancer in the brain. The firemen, cancer in the brain. Okay, there's all kinds of stories out there. And this is why I wanted to show you that map. And we'll get to that. And I'll show you the link. I thought it was in this one. It's not, unless I go choose map somewhere. In any case, let's move on. There is a map in here that will tell you exactly where to watch, because they have this list of where this 5G is going up. And in these areas, you need to watch and be aware. And when you hear people getting sick with all kinds of cancers, I mean, even more so than now. I mean, it's outrageous now. But when these things start increasing because of this 5G implementation, tell someone. Go to your local news channels, go to your local newspapers, copy, paste, take pictures, and send them to somebody. So we can get it out there, so we can prove this before everyone gets killed. Who knows? This may be the one thing that, the Lord was talking about. If he didn't cut it short, all the human life will be gone. It's possible. And here's a story out, okay? All you people who are watching those commercials and thinking about getting the Amazon Ring deal. Remember that? That little thing on your door that you put there? Amazon's rings. You think that you're putting on there to be protected? Deals with the police departments. 5 concerns that you really should know about it. First of all, you have all these police departments now monitoring your house, you. Of course, we knew that they were doing it anyway in some other cases. And these are not the police sell ring products. Okay, whatever. Amazon's communication experts coach police on how to get your footage. So it's just another way, just like the DNA thing, Don't go out and do it all for them, fight a little bit. Really, I mean, people are going out there buying these DNA kits. And they're taking your DNA and it's going into a data bank. And there's a lot of things being used for that reason with that kit. They got all these things. They got the cell phone to check on you. Now they got these things on the door in case you're not carrying a cell phone. I mean, everywhere. Look at the UK, man. The cameras. New York has been putting up cameras. I believe, and they are on the list for that 5G to watch for. And I believe that they will be one of the places. First, they're going to see this increase, immense increase in these cancers. And who knows, or anything else watch for too. But there's a list down here, and 400 police departments. More than 400 police departments across the country have partnered with Ring, tech giant Amazon's smart doorbell program, to create a troubling new video surveillance system. All right. Good luck selling that. And here, just breaking 911, shocking video. Driver plows through crowd and sends people flying. near a Coors field in Denver. Okay, let me put this up first. Okay, this is our fair use disclaimer. Okay, this is it's allowed for the purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe the copyright under 17 USC 107. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because every time or you not every time, sometimes I get copyright, ting for a bit. So here in Channel 4, CBS News, let's just go right to where the cars. Oh, we'll let her speak first.
Police want to find a driver who plowed into a crowd near 20th and Market, then just took off. I do want to warn you, the video you're about to see.
Yeah.
Seriously hurt. Denver police say they were already at 20th and Market because officers responded to a fight that broke out overnight, Saturday into Sunday. There's a little bit of smoke here, but you can see a car blows through the light into people. Some people hit the windshield and roll off the car, landing in the street. Police say the driver of the car takes off. Police also say they still have not found that driver of the hit-and-run accident.
Yeah, there you go. That's not the first time something like that has happened. We watched a lot of that last year. Okay, I know there's really no connection between a lot of this news tonight, so I'm just throwing it out at you. Hope it doesn't make you dizzy. Also from Breaking 911, Trump's personal assistant abruptly steps down after the president learned she was leaking information to the media. And the report is down here. According to the New York Times now, okay? New York Times, Madeleine Westerhout is accused of leaking private information about Trump's family and Oval Office operations. The leaking reportedly occurred in an off-the-record dinner with journalists in Bedminster, New Jersey, while the president was on a working vacation. Yeah, oh yeah. Well, personal information. You got to expect that. Trump's got to expect that. But that's nothing. Okay, I don't even know why I picked that up. There's always a battle going on there between his personnel and the people around him. He don't trust. If I was there, I wouldn't trust anybody. Till I met some brothers and sisters, I do not trust anybody either. I didn't. So, Trump, okay, over 15 years, this is from the Free Thought Project. Over 15 years after President Bush declared the Afghanistan war won, President Trump announced that he plans to keep 8,600 troops in the country. Sorry. We'll always have a presence. Trump plans to keep 8,600 U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Do you know why that they're in Afghanistan? We've talked about this. I hope you know why. Come on, Laura, do you know why? Please type it in there. I just want to know if everybody's paying attention. Why are we in Afghanistan with 8,600 troops? Can you think poppies, opiates, 60% of the world's opiates? War on drugs. You know what the war on drugs is, right? Us going out there and taking over everyone's business. It's now our business. We are selling the drugs. Well, the U.S. is. CIA, NSA, so on and so forth. This one I had a couple days ago. I didn't get to it, but I want to make sure it's out there, okay? New Jersey court okays. We talked about this. Assisted suicide law. Dismissing lawsuit by Jewish doctor. So the U.S. judge overturns lower court's ruling that sided with Dr. Yosef Glassman, who argued practice would violate the First Amendment rights of religious physicians. It doesn't matter, okay? I don't care how they came to the conclusion, but here you go, another state, okay? with this assisted suicide, what do they call it? Euthanasia. I mean, I'm just, my mind is in a frenzy when I see these things because I know who they're going to go after. What kind of people are normally in Florida? Do you know what is the general population like in Florida? Does anyone know? Right? Well, my brother calls them something. I don't know if it's exactly how he says it, but I'm not going to say it. And it's not vulgar. It's just labeling them something to do with their gray or white hair. But retirees been going to Florida for decades. I don't know about the air in here. So yeah, for decades, the elderly, the retirees, all those people, they've been going to Florida to retire. And I don't have to tell you what, the agendas are. Agenda 2030, Jade Helm, uh, all those things, Georgia Guidestones. You can get rid of a particular population and not have to pay out some funds that they normally have to pay out every month. The ones that they should never have touched should, by right, we're just giving them the money to hold on to it. Yes, invest wisely, but our money is to be there because we paid into it. It's not for them to spend and not, you know what I mean. In any case, Florida, which, has been in the crosshairs of these hurricanes the past couple of years. I mean, look at last year. They are so saturated down there in the southeast. I mean, you're talking, from the Carolinas down. I mean, you had coffins coming out of the ground in the Carolinas, and all the sinkholes that are not being reported in Florida. One of the biggest places in the country that have sinkholes. I mean, there's other places. I don't know if they're just trying to just get rid of that whole state. Talk about hurricanes. This is from the Watchers. Tropical cyclone Podol hits Vietnam, leaves 2 dead, 61,500 affected in the Philippines. Pray for those people. We've got a lot of prayers to put out there. Let's pray that their suffering is alleviated. They have provisions that so they don't have to suffer and starve to death and like everyone else. I mean, we're thinking about going to the moon in 2 years. Elon Musk wants to go to Mars. I mean, let him get in one of his little star hoppers and go already. That we should not be spending our money to do these things. Look, yeah, all the things that we're spending, what is that? DARPA has been in the news lately. A lot of these government agencies are just spending our money. Stop it. Let's feed the people who need it. Let's house the people who have been devastated by these storms that we're being attacked by. And we are being attacked. It is a war, a global, weather wars. That's what W. Traveris calls it, weather wars. Exactly what it is. The innocent usually pay for that, don't they? So this was very interesting. I didn't know that this was going on. So I guess I need to concentrate on this more, especially in Israel. Israeli earthquake swarms growing in strength. I mean, heck, aren't we waiting for the Lord to come down and split the Mount of Olives in two with a big earthquake? We keep talking about the west coast of the United States. I mean that obviously we got in our heads from San Andreas up to the Cascadias, and they're talking a few other places too in one spot. But a lot of people are talking about this when the Lord comes back and comes down on the Mount of Olives and splits that in two, that's the one that they claim is in the Bible that will be felt around the world. Don't know what the Bible says. Doesn't say that that was the earthquake, the one that Mount Olives split, and that's what was the cause of it, and that particular earthquake was the one felt around the world. But it kind of, makes sense in any case. So they've got, ever these increase in earthquakes that are shallow, less than 5 kilometers deep. And I'm going to have to learn the metric system, I guess. A sign that they say be caused by groundwater extraction. Okay, well that's one way to put it. Let's explain it scientifically. Why not? Fake news, fracking. This is some of the comments. The Earth isn't older than 6,000 years. Oh, we've heard all that too. I don't know why they just continue with this news, but they go right into the comments. Sorry about that. So anyone who wants to see, there's 11 U.S. states this weekend that will be able to see the Northern Lights. And think of those 11 states and the Northern Lights. All those northern border states. What do they call them? Parts in Alaska, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Michigan, Wisconsin, New York, Vermont, and Maine. Well, I didn't see New York in there before. But New York is a bigger state than I keep thinking. Goes way up there. Upstate New York. Yeah, that's the Canadian border there. So there you have it. Somebody take some pictures. I'm sure somebody will. This has been in the news before, but the only reason I'm showing this now again is because I did not put out 2 days ago that in 50 states now, there is this toxic algae. Okay. Now, I don't know if it's the same one here, but this one says that this is going across the country now, too. This toxic algae that they're killing the dogs across the country. Yeah, I've heard the story that I heard. There were a couple dogs that have died from this algae drinking the water. So now they got a countrywide alert out for it, and I could not find that one from a couple days ago. But in any case, this is originally from WebMD. This deadly variety of algae has caused a recent spat of dog deaths in the southern United States, causing concern among the canine owners nationwide. A dog died last Wednesday in Texas after wading in a shallow pool near a river. 3 dogs died in Wilmington, North Carolina, after a trip to a pond last Thursday. And another died after swimming in Lake Altoona in Georgia on Saturday. The killer is this blue-green algae, and I cannot pronounce this. I'll try though. Cyanobacteria or cyanobacteria that can be found in fresh or salt water and contain toxins that can be fatal to dogs within minutes, hours, or exposure or days of exposure. All I can tell you, folks, they're poisoning our waters. Whether they're doing it or it's being done, naturally, however you want to call that, our waters are being contaminated. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that where's wormwood? When does that come down and poisoned and made the waters bitter? And where are the men that are all going to die from it? Because it says the men, or 2/3 of men, or something like that. Obviously, can't quote me. That they will die from this bitter water, from wormwood. And wormwood doesn't necessarily mean that it comes from the sky like a meteorite. That's not what the Bible says. It says it's more like it's hurled into the ocean. I was always thinking that it might have been Fukushima when those 2 nuclear plants blew up and spilled all this radiation into the Pacific. That's what I thought it was. And obviously, I don't know I know diddly. Um, I am definitely wrong sometimes. Well, there used to be a time when I was never wrong. Then I met Jesus Christ, and he told me the truth. Yeah, I do love the truth. So with that, I mean, let's just give you a brief update on Hurricane Doreen. Okay, when I got home today, Friday at 2 p.m., okay, down here where it says 2 p.m. Friday. On my other computer, oh no, it changed now. It was 1 p.m. That's part of the weird stuff that was going on. But there you go. This morning, when I got up, it was not a Cat 3. But in any case, as of 2 p.m., it was a Cat 3. Tomorrow a.m., be a Cat 3, and it's supposed to hit mid Florida, right? Just about right where my brother lives, at a Cat 4. Now, yesterday or this morning, they had this direction, this, what do you call it, tracking going through Florida, coming out the west coast of Florida and building back up, and then going back into making two landfalls. But I guess, that's unprecedented. So they decided, I guess, today to all of a sudden make it go more north. It's going to be more northwest instead of northwest. Okay, and here's some of the. Let's see if I can refresh this, see if they've changed it since I've not been on it for the past 2 hours. Okay. The miles per hour has changed. I mean, it's the same 115 miles per hour. Was it this morning or yesterday morning? That it was only 70 miles per hour. Could have been when the last time I put a video out. 2 days ago, it was 70 miles per hour. But anyway, now it's heading west northwest. So now it's going west 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 west. 9 miles per hour. It's slowed down. I don't know if that's not good. It's going to give time to churn and burn in that warm Florida waters. Category 3, position 25 degrees north, minus 70.7 degrees west. And if you want a hurricane tracking map, let's go to, hold on a second. Maybe you already have it, but the National Hurricane Center. Go to National Hurricane Center, nhc.noaa.gov. nhc.noaa.gov. And I thought I had it on the piece on my laptop, but it's not. Oh, yes, it's right here. Stupid. Does anybody know Polish? I'm sorry. Because I think in Polish, that's just calling me an ASS. So, anyways, you can go down somewhere down here and get those maps. You can print it out and you can, chart it, put it on your refrigerator and chart them yourself. I like doing it. So it gives you that option, either the Atlantic or the Pacific, or they give you the Eastern North Pacific. And this one I didn't try. Just around Hawaii, but I'll get that one later. So there you go. That's basically about it. And everybody's talking about it. And they will be talking about it for a while. So while they do that, just remember that we're going through a holiday weekend. Keep your head in a swivel. Labor Day. Just pay attention. That's all. Pay attention to this. So this article from End Time Headlines. As Dorian approaches Florida, state of emergency issued. Gas stations run dry. Grocery shelves emptying. Of course. Why not? I'll go prepare too. East Coast on high alert. Never seen anything like this ever. Really? Never seen anything like this ever. Have you? I don't know about you. Seen a few times. I've seen some of this tracking, how it blew up from just a tropical storm, and maybe going to reach a hurricane one. Yeah, but it was manipulated. It was fed, and I don't have it. I forgot to get it. But Mr. BBB 333, okay, his YouTube channel. I listened to three of them today, and there was one in there that talked about this storm. Maybe it was in Colorado. I'm not sure, but he has this radar thing, and he's got this big circle. Looks like a Doppler radar, but it had three circles. Okay, expanding out, kind of like look like frequency, or drop something in the middle of a lake. You get the ripples, and then something flies into the middle of this Doppler reading, and then the storm disappears, vanishes. And that's what I was looking in my history for, because I watched that twice and it wasn't in my history. But Mr. BB333, he put it out there. Go look at it. That's how easily that they can dissipate a storm. They have this HARP program that they had in Alaska is a bunch of antenna arrays. Do you realize the significance, people? Do you realize why they need the antennas and relays and stuff like that around everything? Yeah, they're going to make this frequency travel. They can make plasma balls. At least they could when the Alaska HARP program was up and running. I don't know if it is now or not. But it looked to me, and Mr. B clocked the thing going at 180 miles per hour. Took 20 minutes to traverse the inside of the storm, and by the time it reached the outer rims, the storm just disappeared in like a second or two. I don't know. That was time lapse, but they have these plasma balls are just nothing but heat, and you can just blow one of these storms up, or you can pump them up with frequency. We all know about that. We all know that these storms, a good portion of them are being manipulated. Who knows? And maybe it's not our country. Maybe it's Russia or China or whoever, or North Korea. We are at war, and it's a weather war. I mean, and do weapons and stuff like that. And they're not really going to tell you it, but they'll put it out there in headlines and see how you think about it, how you react to it. That's what propaganda is all about. But anyways, yeah, like never seen anything before. I've never seen like last year, and I'm going to talk about it again. Two hurricanes. It's just come right down here in this area right here and stop. It kept, turning and spinning, but it was at 0 miles per hour. Zero. That I have never seen in my life anyway. And there were two storms that did that same year. So don't tell me that that wasn't manipulated somehow to slow it down, to stop it, and then move it again. Or how about the one that hit Houston? Came in and hit what? As a Cat 4, came back out into the Gulf, became a Cat 5, and went back. Right? It was like a Cat 5 for like a couple hours. I don't know, whatever it was. It was brief, but never seen anything like that either. It's just unusual behavior. Anyways, so you can go get some maps there. Here is this map, and I don't know why it's over here, but this is the 5G thing now in or to be rolled out soon in these cities. This is a map of, this can't be all of them. Well, here you go. The East Coast is like 70%. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less now. population. Boston, Providence, New York. I mean, you got West Coast, San Francisco, San Jose, Los Angeles, San Diego, Houston, New Orleans, St. Paul's, Minnesota, Chicago, Des Moines, Detroit, Kansas City. Okay, watch, get a screenshot of these cities, and then listen. Then listen. State of Georgia makes a stand. Abortion isn't health care. All right, congratulations. I mean, seriously, that's a good step forward. Yeah, it's not health care. It's just out and out murder, and under the guise of Planned Parenthood. Anyways, good step forward. Great job. Here from some place called the Front Page Magazine. Mandatory teacher training denigrates Christianity, exalts Islam. These things are just, this is the way it's going, people. That and the LGBTQ, all being, well, that's hogwash. It's the total opposite, you know. Good is evil, evil is good, according to her. Yeah, obviously it's a delusion because I understand it, but I know I keep saying I don't get it, but I do get it. You know what I'm saying? I just do get it. I just want you to know that how, that they are under a delusion. That's the only possible answer, besides other pure evil that's just surrounds these hateful people. And here's this one from, this is the LGP one, Prophecy in the News, okay? Illinois, again, passes law requiring LGBTQ classes in middle school. Middle school. Now I remember that. Wasn't that like sixth grade, 10 years old, something like that? I mean, I was barely holding hands with girls. I still thought that they had cooties, you know, for the most part. But to now teach me LGBTQ classes and Islam in middle school, I don't know if that was middle school, but I'm sure it'll get there. Maybe they're teaching the 3-year-olds. I don't know. They're the ones that think that you're telling the truth because they're innocent. They don't think that everyone's going to lie to them. They don't know what lying is. They learn that from the adults. Well, there you go. Okay. The Bible is very clear in Leviticus 20:30. If a man also lie with man, as he lies with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. It will be. It's an abomination. But you can repent and be saved. You can change your ways, admit they're wrong. And first of all, you must believe in Jesus Christ, that he could save you in the first place. I know you do. I know you do. Uh, this is just here. I'll just put this is from Crosswalk. I mean, there's some good stuff there and some, use your own discernment. This one here, 5 indicators of an evil heart. Well, I don't need to tell true Christians what an evil heart entails, but it's here if you want to go take a look at it and scriptures that can remind you exactly why and what. So I'll leave that there for you. Free Thought Project. Okay. As authorities continue to claim the billionaire pedophile Epstein died by suicide, they are sweeping it under the rug despite facts showing something far more sinister. Of course. Yeah. Well, there's one here. Did it say it here at the top that they acquitted him? Where was that? I know it's in here somewhere. Oh, right here. I mean, right in front of me. Yeah. Sex trafficking charges dropped against Epstein as lawyer claims he died by assault. Yeah. So, whatever. That saga goes on, and I really don't care. Somebody, I do care that all these people that are involved, all these leaders, these heads of, countries, heads of states, maybe, we could break the cycle for them. Maybe they'll wake up and be saved. I mean, we don't want to be responsible for not praying for them when if we did and someone decided to turn around and, do things the right way, I'm certainly going to forgive them. It'll be the hardest thing in my life to do, besides forgiving my father who used to beat my mother and myself. I mean, that was pretty hard, but I think this one with the children would be the hardest. But we are to forgive 70 times 7. And as hard as it is to do sometimes, we are to love each other too. And if we have that love first, and that's what Jesus gives, I think, to everyone who comes to Christ, is a portion of his love. And that, once that gets in there, you'll just be able to see some of the other things. Yeah, I don't think you can forgive the way that you should forgive if you don't have the love of Christ in you. I really don't think you can. It took me a while, but that relationship with Jesus Christ grew in me as it can grow in you, and has grown in many that I know and I've seen. It's an ongoing relationship, one on one. Oh! Before we get to this, I want to bring. There's the links over here. We're almost done here. I just want to show you a couple links about the fires. Okay, very interesting. This one will go back, but look at this. I mean, this is the world map, man, and these are fires burning across the world. Now, the ones up here in Alaska, I mean, they look pretty small right now, but they are still burning up there. Why do I have? I've got to refresh the picture on my PC. It was becoming a little fuzzy, so I had to refresh. I don't know why. But anyway, look at all the fires. They're all around the world. It's not just the Amazon rainforest or South Africa here. It's everywhere. You got this all along the East Coast. You got Central America on fire. You got Alaska. You got, what is that, Madagascar. You got Australia and all these islands here in one form or another. You got all this stuff up in the north, Russia, Siberia, other places. They're just, and this is nothing. I don't know if, I say it's nothing, but when I say the fire that I talk about, that we mentioned, because this may be just a prelude, telling you, the world's going to end in fire. The Lord said he will destroy it with fire. And this is just a reminder. This is not the real fire. But imagine what it could be. If you get this in your head, open this up to the world view, that's why he's doing it. Hoping, he's just very patient, the Lord is. He's still, after all that we're doing, after all that these people, everyone, just turning away with, doing iniquity, he still has an outstretched arm in his hand. He's still calling us. So this link, I'm going to go back because this was not the original link to get there. So let me just click it once back. And this is the link right here, earthdata.nasa.gov. Okay, I'll leave it right there. I'll include that in the links that I leave. It's a good thing to put aside and keep in case you want to look at. There's all kinds of things and adjustments in there that you can do, as well as this one called globalforestwatch.org. That also gives you different layers and stuff, just like a lot of these weather forecasters, like what was the one, Vanuski or whatever that one that I haven't used them in a while. Kind of hard to use all this stuff. I'm just too busy to. Anyway, I know a little bit about most of it. I'm a handyman of all trades, but definitely a master of none of them. Jack of all trades, master of none. That's what they call it here in New England, anyway. So that's that link. I'll leave that for you. But I want to. Well, there's two links left. This one and the next one. The dog one is the next one. It's funny. Gotta watch it. If you stayed this far, you can stay and watch the dog. This disgraced cop pleaded to multiple child sexual assault charges. And because the U.S. protects people like him, he will not be going to jail. I don't get this. And I really mean that. I don't get it. And down here it states exactly, some of the things I'm thinking. How does this keep happening? Cop guilty of raping 5-year-old girl gets no jail. None. The things that I would like to do with this man, guilty as he is. But the Lord says vengeance is his. But I am still very, very angry with things like this. But you know what? Then I'll have to go to things like this and watch these things, because if I didn't, besides the praying and a little eye candy, well, I don't want to call it eye candy. A lot of people use that in a negative way. But anyway, I'm going to play for you this dog um, who pretends, okay, the pooch's name is Gay Drags. Um, Guy, or Gae. How do you pronounce that? Guy? The pooch named Guy. He drags his back left leg along and on the ground like he's hurt. When people begin to crowd around him, he then gets up and walks away. And apparently, he gets a lot of treats and food this way. So here you go. Watch this. I mean, it looks pitiful, doesn't it? Looks like he's really hurt. Just dragging that leg. So he thinks it's funny too. Anyways, that was pretty funny. So anyway, I hope that snapped you a little bit out of the fog that some of this news can get you into. But it's Friday. It's Sabbath, Sabbath Eve. Anyway, um, God bless you all. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. Know where they are, please. I've done that before. I've had the internet and phones go down. It was only for a couple hours, half a day, but there was people that I couldn't get in touch with, and that is such a uh, an uneasy feeling. And unless you got in the car and drove around, or yeah, we need, with all the technology, we should be able to get in touch with each other in one way or another. I mean, if an EMP comes, there still should be a way if you can prepare for that. I have, but maybe it won't work. Who knows? But trust in the Lord. That's where I'm putting all my trust, and the rest of it, I'm just preparing. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I'll rely on the Lord. So with that one, everyone, have a great weekend. I'll try, like I usually do, to come out over the weekend. I was going to come out last Thursday, yesterday, but when I started to come out, something happened and then it didn't work out. But anyway, I try to get out there, and we all need to talk about that stuff besides the news. Uh, but that's it. So God bless everyone, and peace out.